All right, so let's not pretend that at some point in your life, this hasn't been you.
What are you doing this weekend? Eating. I thought the other day you said you were on a diet. Yeah, but it's the weekend. So I'm eating.
Because it's true, right? And I'm sure it's something you've heard a million times before. The Daily Mail loves to write articles like this, although they always have a bit of a twist to it. But I do think it's something that we should actually have a discussion about and have a chat about, because sometimes when you do hear these words and they go into your ears, it just makes you go, you know what? That person is right. I should really do something about it. Now, the first thing I want to say is there's nothing wrong with getting to the weekend and deciding you're going to be more lax with your diet, right? You have to understand and choose, what are your goals? What do you want to do? What are you trying to achieve, right? If you're doing a bunch of cardio throughout the week and you're smashing the fitness palace of love and you're in pretty good shape and you want to use Saturday and Sunday just to chill out and relax a bit, that's perfectly cool. If you're an athlete or a competitive bodybuilder, then no, you're going to have to stick to it. But if you are part of some kind of goal that you're trying to achieve and it's a little bit more strict and it's a little bit more stressful, I suppose, and it's a little bit more on point, so many people always say, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm having salads. You know, I'm trying to tick all these boxes that I'm being told. And then when you get into the nitty gritty, what actually happens is they get to the weekend and they start to snack and they start to go off plan and they start to do things that aren't particularly good for the numbers that they're trying to achieve. Again, never spin it too bad in your head. Don't make yourself feel guilty. Go, oh, I've done something bad. You had a pizza, you made love to a pizza, t-shirt's available now for some bizarre reason. That's okay. That's all right. It's about what you're doing over an entire year and not on a random Saturday at 6 p.m. when you went to Pizza Hut.
Oh, look now. It's Pamela Anderson.
That's not Pam.
But it is totally different when you're aware of this and you're conscious towards it. And actually what I find a lot of people do is that they're not aware. They're not conscious, because when you get to the weekend, we have this idea that it's a time to let loose. It's the time to chill out because you've been working hard all week, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You've gone to your job and you're tired and you're stressed. Maybe you've got a family, maybe you've got financial problems. And yet when Saturday rolls around, you know, way, let's go have a really good time. And given how modern society works, a good time is often linked with good food. I totally get it. I love food. It's the greatest thing in the world. So you will go out for a meal, or you will go visit your friends and have a nice lunch, or you will go get a coffee. But all of a sudden you're forgetting how these things adds up. Now again, I'm not telling you not to enjoy yourself. I'm just telling you to be aware of it. For example, you go and get a coffee, you go to Starbucks. If you are getting one of those super duper maniac things, and I'm even talking like a cappuccino, that could be like an extra 150 to 200 calories. Like, it just could. That's how much calories milk has, and they put a lot of milk in it. If you're getting one of those dessert type things, I mean, that's 500 calories plus minimum. But when you go out to a restaurant, one of the biggest revelations that's happened in the UK, I think it's different in America, you've had it for a while, it's in the last year, it has become law that you have to write the calorie counts onto restaurant menus. And I have been out with so many friends who go through like, are you kidding? If I get a burger and chips, it's 2,100 calories? It's like, yes. How did you not know this? And people just don't know. Which ties into another opinion I have, or I'm going to sound like some crazy conspiracy theorist, in the sense that I think calories should be taught in school, because every human has to deal with calories, right? And if you educate people, you can then use this. But it's the same. You pop out to lunch, you have a sandwich, you have a bag of crisps, whatever it may be, and these calories start to add up. And even though you've been making that sandwich at home where you just have bread, tuna, and you eat it, which is obviously going to be quite low calories, nothing wrong with having a tuna sandwich on white bread. Oh, white bread is perfectly fine. But when you go out to these places, they're probably going to put butter on it, there's going to be mayonnaise. Who the hell else knows? You don't know, because you didn't make it yourself. And then all of a sudden, you do get to your weekly check-in, or you just get on the scales on a Monday morning, you're like, why have I put on, 4, 5, 6 pounds, whatever it may be? And it's just because you've overindulged. That is what it is. Now, what you have to remember is, let's take the cheat meal, right? The treat meal, whichever one we want to call it. Let's say you have that on a Saturday night. I'm making up numbers here. It's going to be completely dependent on your body. But for 48 hours, you're going to be holding a little bit of extra weight because you've taken a lot of sugar, you've had a lot of salt. Your gut's going to be a bit like, man, you just put a lot of stuff in me. So you have to wait for your body to balance out a little bit. But if you're not getting, let's say you're 200 pounds, you want to get to 175, right? And let's say that you're at 190 pounds, you just cannot get any lower, and you're doing exactly what you know you need to be doing, and you're doing your cardio, etc. You're just eating too much. And what I always find when I chat to people is, it's not in the week. It's not the Monday to Friday when Craig David is doing all of his sex according to his song, although he does that on the weekend, but he chills on Sunday. So don't forget about that. And on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. Always when we get to the weekend, when we want to have fun and we want to go out there and we want to have a good time. So a great way to balance this out would be to have less calories in the week, and then you can have more calories at the weekend. Because again, let's not forget, it's not what you're eating, but it is what you're eating day to day. But it's more importantly what you're eating in a week. So I'm just making up figures here. This is probably not going to pertain to anybody. But if you need to get in 10,000 calories in a week, and you know that 10,000 calories means you're in a calorie deficit, you could do it that way, right? So you could be having most of your calories at the weekend. I wouldn't do most of your calories. It's better if you want to try and be consistent with these things. But if you know that you're going to do it and mentally you just can't unprogram yourself, or you don't want to, but you still want to see weight loss, then sure, you can eat a little less Monday to Friday. So when you get to Saturday, Sunday, you can sit down and you can have a family meal, or you can go out with your friends, or you can have a birthday meal. But again, don't get this confused. I'm not saying that you go out on one Saturday and have a meal. Oh my gosh, we've got to throw the baby out with the bathwater. No, I'm talking about the people that tend to do this almost in a dream, right? You must have seen those programs. Sometimes it goes way too far, but you must have seen those programs on TV. They're like mini reality show where somebody comes in and, you know, all due respect, they are very, very, very overweight and they don't understand why. They're called secret eaters. And then they go through their diet and they're having like 2 chocolate cakes a day. And it's like, you must know this, but again, I think that's pushing it to the extreme. Some people do not realize that they'll have a pack of nuts and it won't even register because nuts are healthy, and they are healthy, but everything in moderation. If you have a whole pack of nuts, that's going to be hundreds and hundreds of calories. And that is a whole other video I should probably do about snacks. Nuts, man, I swear. Somebody has decided that nuts are 0 calorie. I'm here to tell you, not only are nuts not 0 calorie, they're very high in fat. And of course, they're high in protein too. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. It doesn't mean you can't have nuts, but again, moderation is absolutely key. But I just thought it was an interesting video to make because some people, again, they do not want to stop eating at weekends like this. And you are able to do it. Don't go crazy. Don't go overboard. Don't be a glutton or, just shove copious amounts of food into your mouth. But just balance your life out. I keep using that word, but it's true. So on your Monday, have less calories, and then get to Saturday and you can have more calories. And then when you add up everything over the week, you're where you would be anyway, right? And lots of people like to do the whole, if it fits your macros kind of a thing. That can work. You just have to figure it out for yourself, because a lot of this stuff, be it bodybuilding or weightlifting or powerlifting or losing fat, losing weight, or trying to reduce your waist size, whatever it may be, is trial and error. You don't know how your body is going to respond to it. I have a friend, his name is Sam. Hello, Sam. He sometimes watches these videos. That mother hubbard can eat whatever he wants and he's still massive and ripped. I've seen his diet. It ain't clean at all. Some people are just like that. So absolutely keep an eye on what you're eating at the weekend, but don't drive yourself crazy. Don't stress yourself out, again, unless you're in one of the categories that we talked about earlier. You're in control. I think that's a good message to put out there. You are in control. You decide what you eat and when you're going to eat it. And I totally understand stress eating, and I totally understand emotional eating. I'm not referring to that. I'm talking more about when you are dieting quite hardcore and you get those cravings. Remember, you're perfectly in control. And if sometimes you need to break that, that's cool. But that's why kind of approaching it this way may help you a little bit as well, because then you can eat more at the weekends. And then, when you're on a Thursday and you're like, oh man, I just really need some cheese. Well, you can be like, I've only got to wait 48 hours and then I can eat copious amounts of cheese. Don't eat copious amounts of cheese. Just have a little bit of cheese. Just enjoy your cheese. So yeah, it's just something that I thought about, mostly after talking about it with a friend who basically said this thing to me, and we sat down and they did do all this stuff when it came to the weekends, and they didn't want to give it up. So now they have reduced their calories in the week and they're having a little bit more calories on the weekend. Now, we don't know if it's going to work. They've only started doing it recently, but that's why it's good to write everything down. Don't just write down your list. Don't just write down what your diet is. Write down any variations. And if you look in the mirror and you look at the scales and it's not heading in the right direction, then you know what it is. And then you're allowed to make an adult and mature choice. Well, what do I want the most? I know this is like a fitness channel and we're meant to be going, oh man, you've got to have abs of steel. Actually, you don't. As long as you're healthy and you're in shape, you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want, man. It doesn't matter what you look like, ultimately, as long as you feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. Also, t-shirts available now. Don't know why I've decided to promote things during this, but I may as well, otherwise you don't know that they exist. And talking about pimping out stuff, grillamine.com/Simon. Use code Simon, get 10% off. They've just launched strawberry candy energy drinks, which are delicious, and they've got the brand new Grillamine flavors. They're pina colada, almost forgot, and they taste delicious because I'm very lucky I got to try them. And again, I just love these supplements, which is why I don't mind promoting them. I use them every day. I'm going to have an energy drink in a minute. I only have like one a week, but I look forward to it because it makes me feel so damn good, which is probably worrying in many other ways. Different conversation. Also, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, of course. Let me know your thoughts. Click the video on screen to stay to the channel and appease the master that is YouTube. Otherwise, I'm on Cameo, personalized videos, messages such as Simon Miller, patreon.com/SimonMiller316. Instagram and Twitter is at SimonMiller316. And I think that's it. Merchandise we talked about. I don't think we need to run that into the ground. So yeah, take this information. Be aware of what you're eating. Make the conscious choices and own it, man. That's the most important thing. Own it. You had a little bit of extra food. It's not the end of the world. There's real problems out there. And if you go back to the cheese again. If you having a bag of cheese made yourself feel a little bit better, then cool. Just balance it out in the week and I promise you, you will definitely achieve your fitness goals. See you soon.